Hi, I'm Marty Nemko. This is another of my short stories. This one is called The Combat Medic's Dilemma. Jeff, 66, was tired, especially at the end of the day. But this afternoon he had one more meeting, a diversity, equity, and inclusion, that's DEI, training. He thought, geez, this is the third one this year, and every one just makes me feel guilty, and I didn't do anything. I am not a racist. Toward the end of the training, the facilitator said, Jeff, you've been quiet. What are you thinking? Jeff didn't want to say, so he just said, I'm listening. But the facilitator wouldn't let that go. Well, what are you thinking in light of your listening? Jeff hesitated, knowing that if he were honest, it was risky. But he wasn't a good liar, so he felt forced to say what he was thinking. You tell us that we need to redistribute yet more money and effort to the least among us. But every combat medic knows that while the heart is moved to help the sickest, it's wise to use limited resources on people with the best chance of living. The facilitator's face darkened, and no participant dared say anything. Early the very next morning, while still in bed, Jeff checked his work email. There was one marked important from his boss. I need to see you in my office at 8 o'clock. Jeff had never gotten such an email before, and his anxiety grew when he entered. The boss, whose head was lowered, said, Jeff, we have worked hard to create a culture of giving, of inclusion, and your statement at the DEI meeting, in front of your colleagues and supervisees, subverted that. It makes clear that you are not aligned with our crucial DEI mission. We cannot have that. If you resign, we'll add 6 months service credit toward your pension. If you don't resign, we will be initiating an investigation into your statements and your actions around DEI over the years. You might come out fine or, well... Jeff knew he should take a day or two to think about it, but couldn't make himself, so he said, voice shaking, I don't think I said, let alone did anything wrong, but I'll resign. What now? Jeff decided that he'd like to share what he had learned over a lifetime of fundraising management. So he searched the ads in the Chronicle of Higher Education and found 4 courses, 2 local, 2 that could be taught remotely, that he's qualified to teach. Jeff got one, but during the course, he felt he had to discuss the issue of giving to the least among us, or to the people most likely to benefit. So he told the story of what happened to him, thinking, or at least hoping, that his students would be supportive. Maybe some were, but the only ones to speak up were 2 who lectured him. One even called him a racist. Jeff finished teaching that course, but then turned his attention to finding something else to occupy his time. He thought it would be safe to join a book club. It's intellectual and fills a lot of time. He'd actually read each book. But when Jeff queried the local book clubs, all focused heavily on books advocating more redistribution, other DEI-related stuff, he felt that joining such a club would be too stressful. So, Jeff has retreated to his garden, literally, trying to confine his thoughts to what varieties of rose, tomatoes, and fruit trees to plant. Often, he's unable to suppress his believing not just that he was treated unfairly, but his belief that further increase in redistribution is hurting society, causing unnecessary combat deaths. In any event, that short story is called The Combat Medic's Dilemma. As usual, I welcome your thumbs up and accept your thumbs down. I always look forward to your comments, and especially like it if you hit the share button below. Share on your social media so that my efforts can have broader impact. And I am flattered if you choose to subscribe to my channel. In any event, I do thank you for watching. I am Marty Nemko.